So let's look at number 2. At number 2, it's asking me what is the equation in slope-intercept form of the line that passes through the points. So it's giving me 2 points, and where I'm going to highlight, it is asking me to put this in slope-intercept form. So of course we're going to go to our star chart, and I know that slope-intercept form. Okay, that is my y equals mx plus b, where remember that the m is the slope, the b is my y-intercept. Okay, so I'm going to just go look at my answer choices, and I'm looking, they are all written in slope-intercept form. Okay, so now my next step is, well, the first thing I need, I have 2 points. What do I know how to do for my 2 points? Well, I know how to find slope. So I'm going to use my slope formula. Once again, referring to our star chart, our slope formula is that m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And recall that this is on our star chart. We do not need to guess on it. We don't have to try to recall. We are looking at it. Okay? So here I'm going to then label my points. So this is my x1 comma y1, x2 comma y2, and now I'm simply just going to plug it into my formula. So I have my y2, which is my 6, minus my y1, which is my 2, over my x2, which is my 12, minus my x1, which is my negative 4. Now this is where I'm going to use my parentheses because I want to capture that negative. And I am going to plug all of this in, every last bit of it, into Desmos exactly as I typed it. So I know that 6 minus 2 is 4. And 12 minus negative 4, Desmos is telling me that that is positive 16. And one other thing Desmos will do is Desmos will simplify this. If you did this in your head, just put in 4 over 16 into Desmos. It's going to tell you that it's 1 over 4. Okay. Now also remember in Desmos is on that left hand side, it's this little circle, and it kind of looks like, sorry, remember Miss Gray teaches math, not art. I know I got a lot going on, but remember it's this little circle, and it looks like it has a box here, a line, and a box there. Okay, if you click on that, it will convert it to a decimal. So I know my decimal is 0.25. Okay. So my slope is 1/4. If I put that in a decimal, it's 0.25. So now I'm going to go back to look at my answer choices and see if I can eliminate. Well, I already know that C is not going to work because C has a slope of 4, so C is not it. D also has a slope of 4. D is not it. So I'm left with both A and B. They both have the same slope, just different y-intercepts. So this is where I'm going to need to find my y-intercepts. So to find my y-intercept, I'm still going to use, I found that my slope was that 1 over 4, okay, or 0.25. Okay. To find my y-intercept, I'm going to still use my y equals mx plus b. Because remember, this is my slope. This is my y-intercept. An x and a y, that is a point on my line. Well, I have a slope, right? I have a slope of 1 over 4. And I have a point. I actually have 2 of them I could use. I have negative 4, comma 2, or 12, comma 6. So we are going to choose one of these points. I'm going to use negative 4, comma 2 just because I don't want to deal with that big number of 12. And I'm just going to plug it into my formula. So I have, instead of y, I'm going to put my 2 here, right? That's where my 2 is. Equals, I already know my slope is 1/4. I like fractions. I'm going to leave it as a fraction, but you're welcome to put it into a decimal. Times my x is negative 4. Okay. plus my b. And look what we're solving for now. Our b is our y-intercept, so now we're solving for our y-intercept. So I'm just going to simplify. I have 2 equals, and I have 1/4 times -4, that is -1 plus b. I'm solving for b, so I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Okay. This brings this to 0, equals 3 plus b. I now have b all by itself, so b equals 3, meaning my y-intercept equals 3. And I can plug this back into my slope-intercept equation. So I have y equals, my slope is 1/4 x, and then my y-intercept is +3. Looking at my answer choices, well, I have, remember, I can change this to a decimal, 0.25x plus 3, and A is my answer. So a little bit more work than our first question, but very doable because we have our 2 points. Remember, find our slope, plug in our points. Always use slope-intercept formula.